Dystopia tonight.
Fuck out of town! Fucking treason pieces of shit!
Dystopia tonight.
Hey now! Wait, can I just say something? Today is the 300th episode of my podcast.
Oh, get the fuck out. Congrats. That's awesome.
Hey, it dropped today.
Holy shit.
Instead of my fucking face. But anyway.
I just saw you did one with Erica Rhodes. I love Erica.
She's great. She's great.
She is. She's fucking awesome. So you're miserable. I like that because every guest that I have on,
I can fake it. It's also like, I don't know, like I'm miserable. Like, all right, I go through periods of like, all right, I'm miserable and I know it's going to be temporary. And blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
But this one is like, I've had it. I fucking had it. Everyone gets on my nerves. Like, I'm so sick of doing the same shit over and over again. I'm sick of people treating me like shit. I'm sick of like injustice. And it's like, I don't know. It's really, and it's like, I don't see, usually I'm like, all right, this will go away next week when blah, 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 blah. But now I'm just like, do you know what anhedonia is? It is a psychological term. I always said that, like, if I was a drag queen, my name would be anhedonia. And it's like this disease where you get no enjoyment and nothing brings you joy. Nothing. Wow. Zero. Yeah. Anhedonia. And that's sort of like, it's like none of the things that would kind of get me out of the bad mood are working anymore.
Nope.
I'm just sick of it. It was like, we had the pandemic.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, good. I can stop. Everyone's in the same boat.
Yes.
Now, right? It was like, okay, everyone's in the same boat. Fine.
It was like having a giant snow day where you have no control over it. You're like, I'm fucking stuck inside. The buses won't come.
Right.
Fuck it.
And it was great because, especially for performers, because we're so used to that shit. We're so like, it's the people who need like structure, that we're freaking out. But
oh my God.
All the performers who are like never know when their next gig is and next, we had the tools to deal with it. And it was kind of like, wow, there's nothing we can do. So
I'm so fucking glad you said that. Because when I was talking to normal people and I tried to express the fact that I was enjoying watching stable people crumble for once, they were like, what the fuck's wrong? And I was like, oh no, I mean, I feel bad for him, of course, but like I was trying to like backtrack, but I felt the same way. I was like, I feel like I got a good hold on this. I was biking. I was enjoying my
God, I'm outside, I'm hiking. Yeah. I'm like, what? It was so funny because, most of my every night of my adult life, I've gone out mostly to do a set, and, even when my kids were little, we'd eat and then I'd leave and I'd come back.
Yeah.
And it was like after dinner, I'd be like, oh, all right. So what do we do now? Like we just sit and watch TV. I'm like, so this is what you people do. And like, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. But then around 9:30 every night, I was like, hey, what's everyone doing? Hey, where are you from? Like every night I would get a burst of energy. I'm like, hey, where are you from?
Yep. I was like, I still had the same stand-up schedule that I'd had, like being on the road and stuff like that. I wasn't going to sleep at all. Like, even though I could, there was no fucking way to do it. And I was getting to the point where like even my friends who like just from not being around comics for so long and being able to say whatever fucked up things on your mind and shit on each other, like, I was getting together with friends virtually. So we're all talking to each other and I would start, talking like I would in a green room.
Right.
And they'd be like, you're kind of hostile right now. Are you all right? And I'm like, no.
That's my personal
love. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I was just fine. Are you fine? They're like crying. I'm like,
oh yeah. Every night it was like, oh, it's showtime. I couldn't. It's so weird, but it's true. It's like comedians talk to each other so much differently than we talk to civilians.
Yes. Absolutely. and we question each other. Like if you have a point of view and one of us thinks it's either wrong or like we'll ask you questions.
Right,
and
right,
it's
right.
not out of any kind of hostility. It's just like, well, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
well, back it up or explain it to me, or what do you mean by that? People cannot handle that shit. They take it personally, and I don't know. I can't handle it.
Yeah, it's hard because my girlfriend Elisa, we've been together 14 years, and still to this day, because I'm so sarcastic, I'll say something and she'll be like, "Really?" I'm like, "No, we've been together 14 years. No, I didn't mean any fucking thing that I just said. Like, hello."
Yep. I know. It's like if you're not completely 100% smile on your face, enthusiastic about something, it's like you hate that. And I'm like, no, that like just you've known me for 20 something years. Just fucking get on board or get off.
Yeah, you know, the other night I did a gig at City Winery. I don't know.
I'm doing
great.
that. Yeah.
So Alex Edelman, do you know Alex Edelman? Comedian? All right. So he's in the back, and he's like my little brother.
Yeah.
And I'm just fucking, giving him shit, like, just shit. And I guess I left to go do my set, and there were other people in the green room. And he's like, "Oh God, I just love Judy Gold. I just love her. She's like my sister." And the person was like, "Well, it seems like she hates you." And he was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. You're either not Jewish or not a comic." Okay,
right,
those
right.
are the two,
Yep. Yeah, it was like when we finally did that, you were on the charity event that Mark and Richie and I all co-produced or whatever. And we all got together, and Tom also put it together or whatever. But like once seeing all those comedians for 90 hours, that was like cathartic. Like at that point, I'd forgotten we were doing it for charity. Because
I know everyone was just like, I thought we were going to do a set, but it was just like, no, let's just hang out.
Yeah, we were hanging out and then shitting on each other, and endless.
And it's so good because people don't see that. Like,
No.
That's why I love doing Tough Crowd. Like that show was brilliant.
When I was in high school when that show was on, and I for half a second I was like, do I fucking say? Like I shouldn't say that. But it was so fucking awesome because it was just transformed. Like if you watched that show and didn't want to be a comedian more after that, then you would just never fucking want to.
And also, people don't realize that getting mocked by your brethren, but like by your fellow comics, is like the biggest compliment. Just that they would take the fucking time out of their day to say something like shitty and clever to you. It's fucking, but yet now we live in the fucking, I hate everyone. But when are we going to get out of this? I really don't want, like, I don't know if you're like, because I know you're miserable too, but I want to get rid of this, like, in my stomach. Like, do you have that?
Yes, I do. I know exactly that sound effect. I know exactly. Like,
and it's just like, oh my God, shut up. I can't. Nothing's as enjoyable as it was, No,
I know. My friends and I have this constant conversation about it all the time because I swear to God, man, like, again, we've all known each other for 20 something years. And it's getting to the point where like they're like leaning into the woke shit. Where I'm like, can we just be horrible around each other? Like, we all know we're not. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like,
I'm like, I want to watch a movie without learning something. I don't give a fuck if the character has an arc. I want to like the asshole. I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck. Can it just be fun again? It's weird.
When like,
that's why I I loved your book and I loved you talking about it because people would challenge you. And you had this veracity about just like get back down.
Because it's like, here's the deal. When I was at the Cellar and David Tell said to me, and I write about this in the book in the introduction, when he said to me, "Oh, do you think I'll get in trouble for?" And I was like, "No, really, you? Can I do the?" And she was asking me about a bit. I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking comedy. It's comedy. Like all these people are like, all we're trying to do is make you laugh. Like,
Yeah.
why can't you understand that? Like, sometimes it doesn't, you have a sense of humor. It's a personal thing. Sometimes you don't like a joke. Does that mean that person should never fucking tell a joke? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And
Exactly.
the other point I give that always shuts people up is that if you're on trial for murder, for homicide, if you like murdered someone, you're on trial.
Right.
Your sentence is determined by your intent. What were you thinking? What did you mean to do it? Did you do it? Yet we don't give the same consideration to a comedian telling a joke.
Right. Yeah, I know. And the thing is because I don't know what I like. Obviously, this kind of started before the Trump years and shit. But I think during that time, because people couldn't cancel politicians that were actually affecting their fucking lives, it was easier to go after celebrities and go after comedians and go after people because I don't know what that was, but it looked like it was just easy picking because they could get you removed. Or
I think a lot of it is, comedy's such a weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're great at it, it's a weapon. You can size someone up. I mean, it's power. Making someone laugh is so powerful. And I feel like real comedians speak truth to power. That's what we do. We speak, and that is what fucking liars and assholes can't deal with. And like, you look at Trump, who couldn't even go to the White House Correspondents' Center. That's what a fucking little peeny, tiny little fucking dick he has.
Yeah.
He couldn't even go. And then he said he wanted SNL investigated. Now, if anyone mocked me on SNL, I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. I would be calling everyone like, I'm a star. I'm a star,
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that, comedy is a unifier. Like, you can be sitting in an audience and everyone's watching the same comic and you don't know that you hate the people at the next table. You don't know that they're fucking right wing. Well, for me, I don't know what you guys are, but like, Jew hater, fucking anti-Semitic, like gay hate, whatever.
Right.
And you're all laughing and it's like camaraderie. It brings people together, but also like, think about like a funeral. The minute someone says, and remember the ties he used to wear, and everyone's like, oh, thank God. Like, that's what a joke does.
Yes.
It's a buildup of tension and a release, and it disarms people. And let me tell you something. Those fucking rallies he did were like hacky, stand-up bullshit. Like, he would repeat the same shit. They were dumb. And you could see how he would he'd get a laugh and then he'd back up, try to take it in, and then try to like tag it, and tag it. And it was you're so bad at it. You suck.
I know. It was fucking horrible. It was like watching somebody do hack material and crush with it. And you were just in the wings going, they're going to fucking hate me. Because this guy, you're like, this guy's doing 20 minutes on Ray.
He's dumbing down the audience. But it's like, think about, and the title. Yes, I can say that because I can say whatever the fuck I want because it has nothing to do with you. I didn't write the joke. It's not about you. Everyone's like, I didn't write it about you. And it's like, if you're offended, that's on you. What do you do with that? Do you go, oh, okay, that I didn't like that and move on with your life? Or do you fucking vilify that comic and say they should never be able to, like, when you go hear a band and they are like doing some new songs and you don't like them, are you like, fuck that? I'm done. They shouldn't. No.
I always call it like people have like an avatar syndrome where like they pick a comic or they pick a celebrity that they love. It becomes their avatar and they think I'm good because I like this person and that person in their mind is good. And then as soon as they veer from that and tell a joke that they don't agree with or they fuck the wrong person, they're like, fuck, because then it makes themselves so bad. It's like, be your own fuck. You don't need
you can have your own opinion. But so when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. It's from that poem. Like, where were you when they came because when they shut us up, that's it. That is the end of free speech because our only goal when we get on stage is to make you laugh. That's it. And it's also the only art form where you need an audience to do your work in progress. Like you
Yep.
inform us, you guys inform us where the line is. Like we cross the line a lot and then we're like, all right, that's too far. But we don't know that unless we do it in front of you. So don't fucking yell at us at our home club for doing our fucking work. You know, it's not like a painter paints like a quarter of a painting and then like invites 30 people over and is like, what do you think? What do you guys think? Should I put the sun here? Is the beach too much? No.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't understand. Like their choices are don't laugh or just fucking walk out. Those are your choices, or never come back.
Right.
Or, wait,
or just like you're not into comedy, or go like watch a fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the thing about even people who like review comedy. I'm like, do you realize that you chose to critique other people's joy? Like the shit that they get pleasure out of, you chose to pull apart, take down, not enjoy,
It's a sense of humor. It's like a sense of taste. Like you either like salty food or you don't like salty food. Like, all right, you're a comic. You guys know there are times you're watching other comics. It's not your thing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the audience is laughing, but you know where the joke is. You know where they're laughing at that. I don't find that funny.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. People can't fucking apparently do that.
Right.
And you look at the first quote in my book. It's from my friend Eddie Sarfati, also a comic, who says, going into a comedy club and getting upset that you got offended is like going on a roller coaster and getting upset that you got scared. Like, seriously.
Yeah. So
but,
true.
like, it's interesting for you were saying before, like, you think of these comics like Bill Cosby, I can't listen to him anymore. I can't, he's fucking disgusting. But it's like, there are certain things when you know more about that person, their material is different to you at that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Especially at that, like you just said before, when there's degrees of whatever the hell is going on. When it's at that level, of course you can't fuck it. Like he raped. How many women?
He raped. He drugged. He was a sexual predator. Everyone knew it. You know
exactly.
And he's up there telling young black kids not to curse and to pull their pants up. It's like you're a fucking rapist,
right? Exactly.
Sorry.
And that's the thing. That's the weirdest thing, because I remember talking to a bunch of people about like the cancel culture stuff. And I feel like every time people argue about it, they're having 4 different arguments. And the one is like, people defending the obvious right to like for criminals, like to throw Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, those guys in there. I don't even consider that cancel culture. They committed fucking heinous crimes and they're being punished for it. That's not even it. And then the other side of it seems to be this middle ground that there should be a decent debate over, because it's like, do you know the Joss Whedon stuff that's going on?
I do. What's the most recent?
So I can't think of the actress's name. The one from Buffy, not Sarah Michelle Gellar, but the other one, right?
Okay.
So she came out and said, she had a horrible experience with Joss, abusive, yada, yada, yada. Nothing sexually creepy or anything like that, but just abusive. And then other people had started to come forward. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was like, I loved my time on that show. I don't want it to be associated with Joss. So just kind of defending her, whatever.
Right.
Thing. But then the girl, Allison Hannigan, thank you, from How I Met Your Mother and American Pie, was on that show. She's friends with Joss. So this is the thing I think people argue over is, so Sarah Michelle Gellar and the girl, whatever, said some shit about Joss, and people were like, fuck Joss Whedon, cancel Joss Whedon. And then when people asked them to go into further detail, they were like, fuck you, they don't need to go into detail. You should just believe that they had a bad experience. And then there's Allison Hannigan, who's close and friends with Joss, and they were like, wokies were like, Allison Hannigan needs to fucking come forward and stand up for these people. And then they were also like, but if she does come forward, she better fucking say something negative about Joss. And it's like, and I'm like, that's the argument I think people have. Is like, you're not, that's the cancel culture shit. I think that's a decent argument.
But it's also like you have a bad experience with someone, right?
Yeah.
And that person, say it's illegal and they're, a criminal. Okay, that's one thing. but you have a bad experience and you're like, look, I had a really bad experience with this person and they're a fucking asshole and they, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do with that.
Right.
That is, I use this example in my book, which, some people are like, but Coco Chanel, right, was a Nazi. She was embedded with the Nazis, like total Nazi. I go to Rosh Hashanah services. Chanel suits, Chanel bags, Chanel scarves, Chanel, you know what I mean?
I remember you wrote,
and they all drove up in a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. No,
exactly.
It's true. It's true.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's like, there's some shit I just, like, I feel like, and they tell you, people make you feel bad if you say you're exhausted by the whole thing, right? Or any of it, or any kind of like active, like, when all this stuff was going on, I was BLM supportive. I posted stuff. I called businesses in the area and tagged them and made sure, I put lists together. I like doing all that kind of, I feel that's just me in general. Even when I was in high school, I was the kid who, super liberal, ran, helped organize shit or whatever. That's just me. But then it becomes like people telling you what you need to use your quote, your platform for, or, because I have like 20K followers or whatever on Instagram, which whatever. But people are like, you need to do, and then I get like a fuck you. I don't need to do, like, I'll do it if I fucking want.
These
like
people with the you shoulds and like, fuck you and your you shoulds. Worry about your fucking self and don't tell me what the fuck to do. I
100% agree.
And I hate that. And I hate people who treat other people like shit. Like that think they're better than them, what?
We were talking before because I was going to say I had somebody from CAA is coming on the show, and they're going to be on in about a month or whatever. My manager had called CAA to talk to somebody about whatever it was, I guess, to give them materials or whatever they need to talk to. They treated him like absolute fucking garbage for no reason. I don't even know who the hell it was. He was just having a hard time,
it's getting also to managers and agents. They try to justify their jobs by being assholes. And it's like, because you know how many times I get to a gig and they're like, oh, you're really nice. And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, they get this shit. Steve really blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
What's on my rider? Fig Newtons. That's what's on my rider. Big fucking Newtons.
So good.
They're good energy, like when you get off a plane. They're like a good, take a shit. That's,
It's so true. But like that, and I felt like, and this is just me, and I'm a lunatic, but I heard that, and I know he's a big boy and he can handle himself. But I was like, I'm gonna fucking call them and be like, the fuck, because I just want to know what the fuck your problem is. What is it? Can't be nice.
That's what I'm getting now. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care what, I kind of on Twitter and stuff, I'll mute or block.
Right.
But there are times when I'm in that mood that you're in where I just want to fucking go, you know what? You fucking piece of living, breathing shit.
Yeah.
Where you just are like, you know what? I've had this building up all day and you're the one that's going to fucking get it because you're an asshole. Like,
Exactly. And sometimes it just feels good. I've had people tell me, if you do that, nothing's gonna happen. I'm like, I know nothing.
You feel better.
It's just gonna make me feel, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not looking to get anything done. I'm looking to fucking lose my shit on someone. And this person happens to be. I was walking around all day like that today because it happened early this morning. And so I just had that all fucking day in my head. Like, I'm gonna call.
Right.
And then I just had to back
and then
off.
also, because you ruminate with it. You're like, that motherfucker. And then like it ruins. And I don't know. It's really. Yeah. I hate assholes.
And it's this, me too. And it's the kind of bit, it is essentially the business that we're in. And I love doing comedy. I love doing stuff. Let me ask you this, because you're coming out of the pandemic and all that other shit too. I'm more sick of all the normal shit we have to go through than I was before. I thought I was going to be like, and I started questioning. I'm like, maybe I don't. I do love stage. I love performing. I love being on the stage. Anytime on stage, working out jokes, doing material and stuff. whatever. But like all that in between stuff, I feel like I hate it way more now.
Oh, that's what I know. Because
Yeah.
you didn't have to do it. Like this was, never went a year without packing a fucking suitcase, getting up at the crack of dawn, going to some fucking shitty hotel. You know, I love not looking at my fucking suitcase. I don't ever have to get on a plane again, as far as I'm concerned, unless it's for a vacation. Like, I don't care. I don't want to run through an airport. I don't want to sit there crying because I can't get home. I don't want to rent a fucking car that smells like shit. I just don't, you know?
Yeah.
It's just,
and I was like, am I a fraud? Like, I've been doing I've been doing it for 15 years. I know you've been doing it for way, way longer, but you know what I mean? Like, I was like, maybe I just, you know, everybody else seemed like everybody else during the thing were like, I miss it. Oh, I miss, and I just can't wait. And I was like, what is wrong with me?
Well, I have a house in Provincetown, Massachusetts. So all summer I got to do two sets a week outside, which was great. But
that's awesome.
And I kind of got the Zoom shit down, but it's really bad. It's really, Zoom shit is bad.
And now, I did a few of those, yeah.
I'm in those clubs now, and there's a fucking plexiglass thing on, and it's like, really?
Yep. I know. And then if you want to go to one where there isn't, you have to risk going to like fucking Tennessee or where they want to murder you anyway.
Oh my God. So last Thursday, I did a gig in Garwood, New Jersey. And now I grew up in
so
Clark.
Sorry.
Yeah, Clark, New Jersey.
Okay.
I grew up 4 miles from, And so I get to the gig, the guy who owns it, it's called Crossroads. Loveliest guy, just great guy. And just really, really nice. And I'm on stage and it feels good. And these 4 women are in the front. 2 are lesbies, 2 are, and they're just, you know those Jersey people. Like, all right, everyone from Jersey get mad at me. I'm from Jersey, but you know the type of Jersey people that's just like, that one where they're just like, So I asked them something about a mask, and the woman's like, they don't work. I'm like, oh, they don't work. Okay, yeah. I mean, I have to wear it, but they don't work.
Right.
I'm like, oh, where did you get your medical degree from? She goes, my daughter got it and I got it. And then I think I got it. I don't know. I go, are you getting the vaccine? No. Ew. And like, they come up to me after the show. They're like, did you really get the vaccine? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's called science.
Yeah.
Science.
Mm-hmm.
You got your fucking booster shots when you were a kid, you fucking asshole.
Yep.
I don't care if you don't want to wear a mask, then you can die of COVID. Like, that's your choice, but don't make someone else sick, you fucking idiot.
It's the same thing, it's the same thing. Like, I have no problem with people's choices or whatever, but if it fucking kills me or somebody else, it's the same thing with smoking. I don't care. Smoking looks fucking cool. I get it. I think you're lighting fire. You're holding fire. That's fucking awesome. But it could kill me or, you know what I mean? Like, if it's just, like, I drink soda. Like, there's no tomorrow. I don't have any cans. Usually I'm surrounded by soda cans. But I know it's bad for you. I know it fucking cleans the inside of a car like it's nothing. But at least it's not. If somebody was like, hey, if you drink that,
it to yourself, right?
Yeah. If you drink that, your mother's gonna die. I'd be like, well, I guess I gotta stop drinking soda.
I don't drink soda.
You don't? And
No.
so I'm trying not to. I've got Tom. That's another reason why I'm miserable too, because I fucking decided I'm gonna go, eat better and not drink soda. I haven't had soda for a couple weeks, and I want to murder somebody.
Well, I do the water. I love water. I love coffee, black coffee.
Me too, black coffee every morning.
The only soda I'll drink is Dr. Brown's black cherry with like a fucking deli sandwich.
So that's the fucking
But I won't drink diet soda ever. I think it's fucking cancer. That is cancer. I'd rather have the sugar. But
exactly.
I don't drink soda at all.
Yeah. And Dr. Brown's is isn't it pure sugarcane?
Yep.
Yep, that's the good shit. Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking good. I know. And I have to have that with a sandwich. Like, if I have a sandwich, my brain just goes together.
And I've been doing the trying not to. I got, my cholesterol, but I have a lot of heart disease in my family, and I work out and everything, but it's like I'm now at this age where I can't fucking lose weight, and I've been really trying to lose weight. And then yesterday, I go to the doctor because tomorrow I'm getting a cataract removed. Okay.
Whoa.
So I had to get like pre-op shit, and I get on the scale, and I'm telling you, for the last 2 months, maybe 7 weeks, I have not been drinking. I mean, every now and then, but not like
Right.
I won't eat late. 2 pounds. 2 fucking pounds. 2.
I know.
But you're changing your shape. You're gaining muscle.
Oh, shut the
slimming.
fuck up. That's what my son said.
I just started coming off of look, I did the, I gained weight during the winter. It's so funny. In the beginning of this, I was like, because I was just, like I said, I was outside, I was biking, I was running, I was doing everything. Everyone else was crumbling around me. I was having a fucking blast. So I'm doing that, and I was good. And then the fucking winter hit, and I got you get the depression because of the fucking, it gets dark and everything. Yeah. I swear to God, this is all cheese related. I think I ate so much cheese. It was disgusting. Like,
I love cheese.
Me too. And Tom knows this because I had at one point, I was just I was like sitting on my couch, and I didn't have any cut. So I just peeled back the shit and got a box of crackers and would bite the block of cheese.
No fucking way. That's pathetic.
That was pathetic. That was the lowest. Yeah, that was a low point.
I love cheese. I fucking
me too.
love cheese.
Yeah,
it's obviously not as much as John. He eats mozzarella like an apple. He just bites
That's
into
so fucking great.
I was like, I don't want to cut it. I'm too lazy, and I also knew I didn't feel well. I was like, I know this is killing me. I know I don't feel well, but I'm gonna just fucking keep eating it.
But you know what I realized? Living in New York City, like, I fucking getting around in New York City, like all day long, I am running around, like up and downstairs, taking the subway, running to the bus, riding my bike. And I wasn't doing that anymore. Right. And I think that, that definitely had a major effect on me. And now the stupid Fitbit, I'm like always fucking checking. Oh, it's like every little thing I do. I walk to the bathroom, I'm like, ooh.
My mom does that too.
So stupid.
She's got the Apple Watch or whatever, and she's like, I had to set up the what do you call it? The steps.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they are, the pedometer thing. I usually, like I said, I usually bike or go outside or whatever, but the winter came, I fucking stopped doing all that shit. And then I was like, I don't know why I thought I
closed.
Yeah, and the gyms were closed, especially in New Jersey, especially over here. Everything's dead over here anyway. It's like a fucking ghost town in the winter. So I was just like, I don't know why I thought I could eat like that, but I totally did, and I fucked myself. But I'm doing all right now.
But do you now, like, I go to Equinox, but I've been on freeze, and I kind of I don't want to go back. I don't
either.
I have my Peloton. I have my resistance bands. I have my weight.
Me too. Oh, they're not. The door's not closed, but they're usually hanging right over there.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of. I don't want to go back either. My gym. I had it on freeze, and I think I had it set around this time because I just noticed they charged me, and I was like, "Fuck, I guess I should go back."
Yeah, you gotta call them and just tell them you moved.
Yeah, but I bought
so hard to get out of a gym membership.
Oh my God, they wouldn't. They convinced. They're the ones who I wanted to cancel it before, and they're the ones that are like, "Oh, we'll freeze it."
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I've been doing everything at home, and now you could just get online. And I really feel like gyms are gonna fucking go out of business.
Yeah.
I know.
Let me tell you, what I did was, as gyms were going out of business, they had auctions. I went to the gym. I bought the Life Cycle that my wife used.
No way.
I got the real deal pieces from the gym that went out of business.
No fucking way.
That's so smart.
Yeah. It was such a good move. Now she has her own little room that she has yoga mats and a TV in and the Life Cycle. Who needs to go to a gym? Go in there and knock it right out.
The amount of weird equipment I bought online just because, and the fucking stimulus checks were coming in. I was getting unemployment. So I was like, I got extra. I'm just going to buy. I've got stuff. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I've got stuff I haven't unboxed yet. That's gym equipment. So I'm, just going to use that and bike and that's about it. Go back out on the.
I felt like that was the weirdest thing ever for because I'm as a gig worker, when you're used to you only eat what you kill. And then they're like, we'll give you this pandemic unemployment. Like, what? Like, I'm going to get paid definitely, because that was even more important than getting money. Like, it wasn't like the larger sums that you used to hitting your scores. Be like, all right, but I wasn't spending. And my wife was so used to me being in like a bar, a club, or this or that every night of the week. Yeah. That she's like, I love you being
in my, how many years, whatever, years of doing that I've never, ever taken unemployment ever. I know all the comics that did.
Yeah.
Never, except for at the pandemic, I was like, you know what? I got anything, because like I lost every fucking gig.
Yeah, me too. And that was the thing too. Were you out on the road when it hit? Like, were you still out on the road, or
I did a gig in Minneapolis.
Uh-huh.
I came home, and it was like, and I was supposed to go out, I think, the following weekend, and it was like, nope.
Wow.
You know, it was so slow, and you're like, really? It was so weird because it was like,
yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it'll be a couple weeks then. And it just kept going and going and going. It was so fucking weird.
Yep. I did a gig I was in New Hampshire. I had like a string of gigs I was coming back from. I was out in LA. I just pitched, and of course this happens. Why not? But I had a short movie out on Amazon Prime. Jim Henson's company loved it because it's with a puppet. It's about depression or whatever. And then they had me go out there. I went out there, pitched it as a series. They liked the idea. I got to come back here. Everything was kind of in motion, and then went back out on the road. And then it was like every gig I got into, there was a little bit worse news. And like when I watched the tapes back or whatever, I'm joking about it. I'm like, hey, we're all, you know, whatever the fuck it is. First couple of things I say. And then it was like New Hampshire, DC. I was in DC with Tony Woods. It took me out all over, you know. You go out with, you know, Tony.
I love Tony.
You go out with Tony, you never come home. So yeah, me too. And it was a fucking blast, right? And then I had one more gig, had a couple gigs in New York. And then the next day when I came back, they were like, if you were in New York, you probably have it. And also no one's allowed out anymore. And I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck happened? And I had hung out with one of my friends, and they were like, do you have it? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why they're saying that. I mean, I wasn't like, I don't know, but, and then I kept.
You know, what's interesting is like, I had traveled so much the week before. Like I was on like 7 planes in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. And we went to Provincetown because I have a house there, and we were just like, all right, let's go. That's where we're going. Because everything was shut down in New York. And a couple of weeks later, I got really sick, and I couldn't stop coughing. No fever, but coughing, like horrible. And I went and got a test, and it was negative, and I got another test. It was like, and I never got it, but I got really, really sick. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But who knows? Yeah. Maybe it was a false negative, but you know, I can't fucking believe we lived through a fucking pandemic, a plague.
Me neither.
And that motherfucker.
Yep.
Fucking could have prevented it. He could have fucking prevented it.
Yep. I know. It kills me. When I went to get the vaccines and stuff, I was trying not to freak out, but like I'm in line. My mom and I got at the same time, and I'm in this line or whatever, and there's military dudes. And they're taking people's temperatures. And I'm like, I've seen this movie 100 fucking times. Right?
Right.
Where I'm like, someone's going to get a fucking beepy thing. They're going to take them off in a fucking cage. You know, it's the craziest shit. And now it's like.
And it could have been prevented.
Yes, exactly.
Like it could have been stopped. And he fucking, like, and the other thing is, you know, all these people, these right wing, like those fucking women at the fucking table, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, all their little heroes on Fox News, they're all vaxxed, you idiot.
Oh,
they all got the vaccine.
Exactly. Dude, we have this fucking douche here. He's NJ 1015. It's like a right-wing radio station or whatever. His name is Bill Spadia, right? And I've had this ridiculous, dumb feud. It's not even a feud. He doesn't even know. But like, he went after a dude, Todd Frazier, who plays for the Mets. He went after him because he grew up in my town. We went to high school together, and he was trying to get money for the schools, and Spadia went after him. So I went after Spadia. It was his whole thing, right? But, he was like railing, no masks, blah, blah, blah. You know, the vaccine's a scam. And then I tweeted one thing, and it blew up because I was like, he's doing this from home, you morons. Like, he's not in studio.
Right.
He's doing this from the safety of his fucking home studio. Right. He's a coward. Like, I'm like, if you're so brave, fucking go out and do your job.
Go outside, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, exactly. And he's this wannabe. You'll love this. He's this wannabe comic too. So like he always like, because he's one of those dudes who like gets comedians to come on his show, and comedians are suckers for radio, which is, by the way, the top of the media chain. So he's they're like, oh yeah, so he'll do like 5 minutes. He's just this fucking scumbag. But yeah, I was like, he's in his home studio, you morons.
It's also like, all of these, I like, you're lying. Like, they have to know they're lying, and like, you make a living
right
as a fucking liar. And I have family members who watch Fox News. Like, it's an entertainment news program. Entertainment news. It's not. And did you read about that guy? There was a guy who went on trial for the insurrection.
Yeah.
Did you read about this? And the lawyer said he has Foxitis. That he
has Fox. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That the reason he did it was for 6 months he watched Fox News, and it incited him to do this.
Yeah.
And they're blaming,
I know. Which, by the way, if that leads, it's not going to. But if that somehow led to the demise of that, I would be like, worth it. But the fact that this moron might actually get off, it's fucking. Is it done yet? Do you know?
I have no idea. All I know is that right before we started, I watched Liz Cheney's speech. Now, I fucking hate Liz Cheney and everything she stands for. I mean, she blocked me. She blocked me.
Wow. That's good. I see you got a better. I got blocked by Scott Adams, so that's not as good as Liz Cheney, but
But that speech, I have a lot of respect for her. I mean, I don't agree with a fucking thing she says. I think her father's a fucking asshole. Yep. But you know what? She has integrity.
Yeah, I agree. And that's, by the way, something a lot of people can't say or do. It's like, it's either one way or the other. I feel the same way you do, though. I don't agree with anything she's fucking said. I don't agree with anything she's done. But if somebody comes up and does something like that, you're like, all right, I'll applaud.
Right. She truly believes, in conservative values.
Right.
And she's a right wing, fine. And that's what you think. You're a hawk, whatever.
Yeah.
But, she does love whatever parts of this country that agree with her. She loves this, she interprets the Constitution differently than I do, but she has respect for it. And the office of the president, like, cut the shit that he fucking won. And it's like, cut the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So fucking boring. You're such a fucking sore loser. And then that Mitch fucking McConnell with like putting that Amy Cunty Barrett in there. What the fuck is that shit?
I know. It's insane. And then he fucking says this. Like, look, like, what was the entire time leading up to this talking about unity? When Trump was coming out of the whole thing. And then immediately, as soon as Biden gets in, he says he's going to block everything Biden does. Come on, people. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's ridiculous. There used to be decent Republicans.
Yeah.
And it was all about policy, but they were not fucking assholes.
In my mind, it's like, I feel like over the years, the reason why, I mean, the Democrats are feckless. They have a hard time getting shit done. But I think it's usually because the Democrats are mixed with progressives, liberals, and traditional Republicans now. That's the Democratic Party. And that's why they fucking, have a hard, and the Republicans are just fucking, they're insane now. Like, have you seen the graph that's like the scale of how Europeans are taught American politics?
No.
And it's actually, it's so good because it literally shows it's basically like what Americans think of American politics or whatever. And it's like Obama's on the left, Bernie's on the far left, Warren's on the far left. And then there's like a kind of an even scale thing. But Europeans, when they teach American politics, it's Sanders is in the middle of where the far left is, and everybody else is this tipping scale off onto the right. And then it's like Trump and all those guys. It's so brilliant. Yeah. And it's like, that's exactly how it is.
Right.
Don't you think it's a little like you were saying, it's entertainment news. It's almost entertainment politics at this point, where it's like so divisively like splitting and like trying to really just pit everybody, like choosing team. It's like choosing a team in sports. We're like, I got to root this way because I'm rooting for this.
Except sports doesn't kill you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you got morons. Like I had like, what did you think of the Elon Musk thing going on SNL? Did you have a problem with it?
I was like, I was only annoyed. Like, they can have whoever they want.
Yeah.
But there are so many fucking great performers.
Yep.
And it's just like, really?
Yeah.
I know
That's the annoying part.
I know he is, Elon Musk, but I tweeted that I can't believe Elon Musk is doing SNL and Carol Burnett has never done SNL. Carol Burnett,
Good point.
And people were like, "Oh, good point. Oh, Carol," but then it just starts a whole fucking
right.
Twitter war. But I don't know. It should be comics. It should be actors. It should be,
It's like I said it as a joke, and people took it seriously because I was like, "This week is Elon Musk, next week is Gina Carano, and then the following week is Derek Chauvin's kneecap. It'll be hosting, like it's just because it's always the worst." Just to get attention or whatever. The only thing I had a problem with Elon is that he went on TV repeatedly and said not to give people aid, and then it's like, fuck you, dude. Like he's basically getting he's taking advantage of loopholes through the business to get aid. And it's like, you're already a fucking billionaire, you lunatic.
Yeah, I know. I can't with these fucking, and they're so out of touch. You can't be funny and that out of touch with the way regular people live.
Absolutely. Wait, did you watch it at all?
No, I watched the monologue. That was it, but I'm going to watch it.
So there's a sketch you got to look out for. It's the one with Pete Davidson where Elon plays himself sending somebody to Mars. Can I tell you can I say the thing that happened?
First of all, I'm shocked they wrote that. All right, yeah, go ahead. Didn't see that.
I know, it's genius. So they do whatever, but it's like he's supposed to. There's a scene where one of the dudes dies, and everybody has a shocked reaction, and Elon is also supposed to. He just doesn't, and it's actually winds up being perfect because it's like, I don't actually think he cares about people. Like it wasn't supposed to be that way. Like he went to do like a thing, but he was smiling. So I was like, no, I don't think he gives a fuck about people anyway. So
and look at his fucking kid's name. What the fuck is that?
I still can't pronounce it. You can't. I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what it is.
Why would you fucking do that to a child?
It's like a fucking algebra problem. Fucking calculus.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
There isn't a day that goes by that I don't try to tweet at Tucker Carlson that he got his ass handed to him by Jon Stewart. Like I love retweeting that video.
Oh my God.
Clip.
Did you see what Joy Reid did to him? Oh, it's great.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
He's he is just like the thing about him and Trump and all these guys and Matt Gaetz or whatever the fuck.
Matt Gaetz.
As I said, I grew up in New Jersey, and all these kids bullied me, and they are just bullies. Yeah, they're just fucking bullies. That's all they are. They could give a shit about anyone else. Like the fact that you even think that Donald fucking Trump gave one shit about you, and all his fucking people at his stupid, stand-up rallies, they wouldn't even let them in Mar-a-Lago. They wouldn't even be allowed in.
I love that you just said that. I had a so again, pandemic hits, whatever. I've never been on TikTok before in my life. I decide to jump on there because everybody else is doing their, whatever the fuck they're doing, right? And I did a gig in Michigan before the which is a good place to go during this, before the pandemic hit. And there were Trump fans in the audience, shocker. And I still do my shit. So like it's getting close to the end of my thing. I got like 15 minutes left. Everything else is fine. The entire hour I'm on stage. And I start going into Trump stuff. I say his name and they start chanting USA and fucking losing their minds. And so at one point during the thing, I literally just said what you said, which I said is, why is it always, because I shit on the dude in the first place. And I go, why is it always the people that he would never hang out with in his entire life that love him? And I was like, look at this guy. And of course the audience looks at it and he's this fucking moron. I said, you're wearing overalls. Do you honestly fucking think the guy who lives in a golden house is going to hang out with you covered in pig shit? Like, are you out of, So did this whole thing and I posted on TikTok and like blew up and went viral. And I got death threats for the first time.
They're fucking juvenile. They're just dumb.
Yeah.
They're just dumb.
I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like I had to get my information, like address removed off the, you know what I mean? Like on those sites.
Yeah. The other thing is that never in the history of this country Has there been a president who has not been fodder for satire? Never.
Yeah, exactly.
They have, it's part of the job.
Yep.
And yet this fucking piece of like disgusting, he's such a weak little fucking, I mean, look at his hair. That should tell you everything. The fact that you fucking walk around with that bullshit hair.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. That you're the fucking,
I know.
awful.
And his whole, I mean, I don't know how this guy is the epitome of masculinity either. His whole stance, anytime he's standing, that's not even the real shape of a human body.
Right. He's not athletic. He's a fucking asshole. And their hypocrisy with the fucking golfing and the I hate them so much. I fucking hate them. Like it's called a public servant. Like that's what those jobs are. You're serving the public. He doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
You can hate Biden all you want, but that guy has empathy.
Yes.
He is a public servant. He wants to make this country better. Fuck you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's what I wound up coming, like, toward the end of it. I was like, he wasn't my first pick, but the fucking primaries are over. This is the guy who won.
But it's exactly what we need. Like, he doesn't, he's just like, okay, whatever. I mean, like, he got interviewed the other day. They're like, what do you think of the Republicans, whatever? And he said, I don't understand the Republicans. That was it. That's what he said.
I have work to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing about one of the things I liked about Obama was that it just seemed like he was a guy who had a job to do. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And he loved it. And and if you read Michelle Obama's book,
I haven't yet. Is it good?
Yeah, I listened to it on long car rides. It's so good. I mean, she talks about like that's what he wanted to do. And like every night, she says every night he would read letters from people that hated him. Wow. But he wanted to know what the fuck was going on. Like that's the job. Yeah. And he got Osama bin Laden, you fucking assholes.
Exactly. And he fucking still got nothing for it. No love, nothing. I mean, from our side, yeah. But like, I mean, you would think at least there would have been some kind of like, hey, this is the dude.
And what they did with him in the Supreme Court, not letting him.
That's fine.
And they put Cunty in a week before.
Yep.
They're just fucking lying.
Kavanaugh, the other one.
It's all about your tax money. I want my money. Money. You know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yep. No, I agree.
And don't tell me I can't have an abortion. And don't when you're fucking cheating and lying and white collar crimes and gay people shouldn't get married. And you have fucking, like Newt Gingrich. How many fucking, fuck you. And Rush Limbaugh,
and leaving his wives when they were dying. That's fucking insane.
And you're telling me I can't get married? Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just insane the stronghold they have over it. Yeah. That's the thing that made me really upset about the Democrats thing is that they couldn't fucking block. I don't understand that kind of shit. I don't get the whole like when they're like we go low, we go high. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
I know. No. That's why, it's the unfortunate ones are Anthony Weiner, because he would have ripped him a new asshole.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Al Franken. Like that was ridiculous. Like ridiculous. I can't. How many pictures do we have of comics doing that shit? Like, shut the fuck up. I know. He didn't do it when he was. Yeah.
That's why was it Gillibrand, the one who fucking pushed him out?
Yep.
Yeah, I fucking can't stand that shit, man. That drives me absolutely crazy. And we do it. We do it to hold this kind of higher moral ground, and then we lose.
Right.
And that's the thing, man. I think I don't know. I feel like you probably feel the same way too. If he wasn't so fucking stupid that he told his his people not to vote by mail, we would have lost again.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like it was really. I feel like
and now they're trying to stop people of color from voting. Like, it's one person, one vote. Sorry,
I know.
You fuck.
I know.
People died for the right to vote, and you're fucking. I hate them.
Me too. It's
shit.
Everybody just no. Judy and I are having a moment.
I have so many questions for you, Judy. I feel like we went super rant this episode.
Yeah,
this is great. I needed this.
I know you did. That's why I let it occur.
so glad. I'm so glad you were on today. I was so. I'm actually like. I'm miserable, but I'm like a happier miserable.
Right. Because you get to like, you know.
Yeah.
Let
This is
it
fucking
out.
great. Well, I don't want to. We're almost up at the hour. Can I ask you one cliche question?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Great. All right. Good. This is what I ask everybody. If you could give advice to your younger self right now, what would you tell yourself?
Follow your gut.
Ooh. All right. Great. Perfect.
I mean, there were so many times where I was like, this doesn't feel right. And, you know, and I listened to the manager, or the agent, or whatever.
Right.
But your gut is always right. Your gut is always fucking right.
Yep.
You got to follow it because it's the only truth you have. What else would I do? I don't know. Stop wasting time worrying, but I still do that, so it doesn't matter.
I feel the same. I think about that too, and then I also kind of check myself where I'm like, yeah, you do the same. Fucking. That's why you can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like up late. I'm up at night going, you should stop.
Yeah, I know, right?
So much when I was, and I'm like, you're doing it now, you fucking idiot. I started taking Benadryl during the pandemic to offset, to like try to get myself back on track. Nothing. I would still wake up, but it would be in a fog. So I'd be awake.
That's what we used to give the kids when they were little, on plane rides.
Oh,
yeah, that's the trick.
Smart.
Yeah.
Start taking it off.
That's why I am allowed to get mad at kids who scream on the plane, because I drugged mine, so no one fucking had to listen to that shit.
You did a service.
Like that's how Bill Cosby started.
Yeah, right.
Little scissor.
Yeah.
Like, this Benadryl's really doing the job.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to thank you for coming on. And
oh my God, this was so fun, guys. Let's do it again.
I'm glad. Yeah, please. Oh my God, I feel like we have like tons more to talk about. I'll plug your podcast. And is there any dates you want me to throw up on the website?
Well, right now I'm writing on Better Things. You know, the FX show with Pamela Adlon. So I'm in the middle of script writing.
Fantastic.
So I'm doing that, and I'm going to be in Provincetown this summer, but I don't even have my calendar here. I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I'll look up.
It's JudyGold.com. JudyGold.com.
JudyGold.com. Great. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. And I hope to meet you at
Thanks for having me.
Monday. Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks so much. And
bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Dystopia tonight.